Fanatics. Let's go! The Elite Eight. The Elite Eight. I said the Great Eight when I was a kid. The Great Eight, Elite Eight. That's fun. Both of them are fun. What's up, y'all? We're eight. Eight. Yeah, that means that we're about a week away from real football. That's wild. That's so fast. But we made it to eight. Eight. So this means that, do the math, that means this is 25th, I guess? This will be the 25th pod, because then plus 7 more, this will be 32, and there we go. Then we're at the game. Then we're at number 1. So my 8. And I don't know if people are gonna like this or not like this. It's the Buffalo Bills. And I mean, I guess why wouldn't you? Because they haven't been in the conference championship 2 years in a row, so they haven't been top 4. So I guess they kind of live in 5 to 8 then, right? They're the final 8 each year, the last 2 years. So 8's probably about where they are. So they're 8. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, so let's go. I got a lot to say about this because I did a lot of research on this. So because I think the Bills are interesting because I think the Bills are they're kind of what do I want to say about them? They're kind of everybody's kind of favorite team because I think everybody likes Josh Allen because he's amazing and he does like all this cool stuff. It's kind of like Jalen Hurts. Like Jalen Hurts is 5-20, but people not Jalen Hurts. Sorry, Justin Fields. Justin Fields is 5-20, but everybody thinks he's amazing. Fantasy football has a say in that and all these things. And I think I saw on FS1 that someone said that Justin Fields is better than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts just has a better team. And we also did this with Miles Sanders. For some reason, Miles Sanders has this phenomenal year. And it's like, oh, well, his O-line. Well, you know who has a pretty good O-line? The Browns. The Browns are a really, really good O-line. I think the last 3 years, 2020, PFF ranked them number 1. 2021, PFF ranked them number 1. And 2022, they ranked them number 2. So we get these people that I guess aren't fantasy guys, and we just kind of treat them like they're bad. So I actually did a little deep dive on that. Nick Chubb has 5.3 yards per carry behind that line since 2020. Miles Sanders has 5.2 yards behind Eagles since 2020. And like, oh, well, Miles Sanders is injury prone. Really? Because Nick Chubb has played 43 games and Miles Sanders has played 41. So, I mean, we get in this narrative space that, yes, Josh Allen's good at football, but he isn't. He's never won an MVP. He's never won a Super Bowl. He's never been to a Super Bowl. So why? And we ranked him. I have roster ranks. Pro Football Focus had their roster ranked number 1 last year. This year they have him ranked number 2. So why? He's got everything he needs. They have Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is really good at football. I don't know why we just keep pushing things. I think because we assume that people are just dumb and it's just easy to be like, ooh, look at this shiny thing. And they're like, oh, yeah, the shiny thing. Oh, yeah, that's great. I love the shiny thing. That guy's awesome. And because he's awesome, that means the coach is awesome. That means the team's awesome, except they haven't won anything. Like, it's weird, and this is not a knock against Josh Allen. It's just that we kind of just get ahead of ourselves on things, and I think this is why I wanted to do this whole shebang. Is that we get so worked up and excited about like things that just we got like a little smidge of teams being maybe okay, and because it's flashy and it's exciting, we get fantasy stats for it, like the Lions. We get fantasy stats for it, like all right, they were 9-8, man. They were 9-8. The Steelers were 9-8, and they were like really hurt. They had a rookie quarterback. They're probably gonna be better next year. Oh no, they're not flashy enough. Look at the Lions. They just need to get a defense. Okay, here's a defense. There's a defense. There you go. Never did I think that we'd be like, man, you know who's like really, really exciting? Jared Goff. I don't know. It's a shiny new toy though. It's great. Like who you want to like. All right. That's fine. So I got the Buffalo Bills, and PFF has them the number 2 best roster in the league, with Philadelphia being number 1. I'm not sure I agree with that one either, but we'll get there when we get there. But let's go what we normally do. We go to PFF grades. So their O line is 22, their D line is 7, and their secondary is 10. Wait a minute, that's the second best roster in the league. It seems like really hypocritical. Like are you that much better at every other position that makes up for 22, 7, and 10? Okay, yeah, you got Josh Allen. You think Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league? Yeah, Stephon Diggs, is he the best receiver in the league? That he just lifts it up? You got James Cook, who barely played last year. He just lifts the roster? I don't know. Let's look at who they looked at. Look at who they added. Well, let's go who they lost first. So they lost Edmonds at linebacker, which is kind of putting a lot on Milano. I guess they kind of switched Floyd in there, so it kind of made up for it. They lost Singletary, so it's basically all James Cook now. I mean, they added Damian Harris, and he's already hurt. So Latavius Murray, I think he's like 34. So then you got Isaiah McKenzie and Jamison Crowder they lost, which basically takes away. You just got younger at that position. I don't think they added. Oh, I guess McKenzie's pretty young. You lost your slot guy, and then you make that up with Hardy. So Deontay Hardy is going to be your slot, I guess, and then you get McGovern. Hopefully that helps your offensive line. Well, I guess PFF doesn't think so. PFF thinks you're still 22nd best O line. Poor James Cook. You add Floyd and you add Harrison Murray. So the things you lost, you replaced with, in my opinion, less things, but you replaced them. You got, let's say you got 80% of what you lost. So you're the 5th best team. You got 80% of what you're best 5th best team, because you lost in the quarterfinals basically, and you got 80% of what you lost. So that's you're kind of just still there. And then you drafted Kincaid, which everybody likes, but I guess like the camp, they still have Dawson Knox penciled in as a starter. I think that'll end up changing over time. But I mean, they don't use the tight end a lot. I don't know. Maybe it's a rookie tight end. Usually rookie tight ends don't do too much. They drafted guard at 2nd. I guess they're worried about the guard position because they go guard free agency, guard in the draft. Linebacker, Williams a linebacker, and then they were 5th and 7th round. Nobody's going to know who they are, so I don't really have to talk about them too much. But I guess maybe they need a linebacker to get Edmonds' place. I don't know. It seems like a meh draft. Kincaid's kind of exciting. And I think that when you say Kincaid, Josh Allen, that gets a little exciting. But it's a rookie tight end. We'll see. He might be good. All right, let's just move straight to schedule last year. So you had Rams at home, you won 31-10. You had Titans at home, you won 41-7. You had Dolphins at home. Did they go home? Wow. No, at Dolphins, sorry. At Dolphins, lost 21-19. At Ravens, win 23-20. Steelers at home, you got 38-3. Wow. At Chiefs, you win 24-20. At home to the Packers, you win 27-17. At Jets, you lose 20-17. Vikings at home, you lose 33-30. Browns at home, you win 31-23. At Lions, you win 28-25. At Pats, you win 24-10. Jets at home, you win 20-12. Dolphins at home, 32-29. At Bears, you win 35-13. Bengals game got canceled. And then Patriots at home, you win 35-23. Patriots aren't playing for anything. You're playing to maybe get the 1 seed. And there's little nuanced things. You got the Dolphins with no Tua. But yeah, you end up 13-3, which is really good. So really, really good record. And let's see what they got this year. This is what I got for them this year. So I got them at Jets. Man, that MetLife is going to be electric when Bills come. So I got them losing at the Jets just because I think there's so much energy. They're just I think the Jets are ready to explode, and that roster is good. So I got them losing at Jets. I got them beating Vegas. I have them losing at Washington. Washington probably has the best defensive line in the league, and your offensive line is 22nd. I don't like that matchup at all especially you're on the road there. I don't like that at all for you. So then you got Miami, who has a top 4 defensive line. What did I just say? Your offensive line's bad. Their defensive line is very good. So that is a loss for me. Then I got you beating the Jags. I got you beating the Giants at home. Dang, they got a really good defensive line too. I think they're just more talented overall. So I think it'll be fairly low scoring, but I think that you win that one. You've lost at New England. Same thing. Your bad offensive line. They have a really good defense, especially they just added Marquand McCall, which was a big boy, and he's going to be very good for them. You beat Tampa Bay at home. You go to Cincy, you lose because you just can't beat Cincy, and they just 27-10 in the playoffs, and you're there. You're at Cincy. That was at Buffalo. You lose to Denver at home. You beat the Jets because you split with them. It just feels like that they're going to split, and you're going to need to start winning games because you're going to start seeing you go woof. You go to Philly, same thing. You go against a really good defensive line. You got a bad offensive line. I have you winning at the Chiefs. I just think it's a bad matchup for the Chiefs. And you've just seen Patrick Mahomes so many times, and they haven't found a way to stop you, and you have found a way to stop them. So I got you winning against the Chiefs. I think that's like another big thing about why people think the Bills are very, very good is that the Chiefs just can't beat them for whatever reason. You beat Dallas at home. They're traveling pretty far for that, and they're going to cold weather at this point in time. Dallas in cold weather, outdoor stadium. Oof, like that for the Bills. Then you got to go cross country at the Chargers. They're fighting for a playoff spot. That's a long trip. I got you losing at Chargers. I got you beating the Pats. And right here, that means I have you at 8-8. You're already out of the playoffs. Miami needs to win this game to get in the playoffs. So I got Miami beating you, and you go 8-9. Everybody's going to roast me for that. Everybody. And so I know that. So let me just kind of give you my thought process behind this, right? So let's go. So PFF does roster rankings, right? And I kind of hate it, but I use PFF for everything else, and it's kind of in line. There's other places that do roster rankings, and it's kind of the same. I don't know. A lot of times you don't know it until you see it. They don't add, and it's true. Like they literally say roster rankings, so it's about the roster. They don't involve coaching into it. They don't involve, preparation, mentality. It's just roster talent wise. So I kind of get them with that. Last year, they go against the 3rd, 4th, and 5th best rosters, right? 3rd, 4th, and 5th, which sounds good. Like that, you play good games, big games. Now let me go with the rest. Those are only top 10 teams they play. They play 3 top 10 teams. They play the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 28th, 29th, and 31st best rosters last year. That comes out to the easiest schedule in the league. Literally the easiest schedule in the league they had last year. Here's the teams they beat with a winning record. Dolphins, Ravens, Steelers, Chiefs, Vikings, Lions. That's it. Let's see the ones that made the playoffs last year. Dolphins, Ravens, Chiefs, Vikings. 4 playoff teams last year. You didn't like nobody. Nobody last year. They got inside the top. Three of the first worst. 3 of the 5 worst teams or 5 worst rosters you played. Only 3 teams in the top 10 that you played. So now let's go to this year because they did the roster rankings this year. They have you number 2 behind Philly. You got to go against 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10, 15, 17, 18, 20, 21, 23, 28. You got 9 games against the top 10 because you have 2 against the Jets and you got 2 against the Dolphins. So you got 9 of your 17 games are against top 10 teams. And then 13 are against top 20. You get 1 game in the bottom 9. And then listen to, I already went over this with you, but you go through a stretch where you play Cincy, Denver, Jets, Philly, Kansas City, Dallas, Chargers, New England. I have all of these teams having a winning record this year. And then Miami, sorry. Cincy, Denver, Jets, Philly, Kansas City, Dallas, Chargers, New England, and Miami. Wow. That is the 3rd, 20th, 7th, 1st, 4th, 6th, 9th, 18th, 10th best rosters. Man, you did not get any help by anyone, any scheduling. So PFF has your schedule as a 29th easiest schedule. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. I think you got worse from last year. I don't know. And you're just getting old, man. Stephon Diggs. There's stuff in the media. I don't know about Stephen A. Smith. I don't know what I don't know if he's making stuff up or what. Stephon Diggs came out and said it's not true, but people are saying he wants out of Buffalo. Also, Sean McDermott's. People are talking about him on the hot seat. He's like one of the best odds to get fired. Your big time players are Stephon Diggs. He's going to be 30. His last games were 26, 60, 37, 92, 77, 48 yards. I don't know. He might just start getting old. A lot of his game is predicated on speed. He's 30. Like Devontae Adams isn't predicated on speed. He gets off the line quick. He is a really smooth route runner. And I'm not as worried about him. But think about what everybody's saying about Nuke. Or DeAndre Hopkins, for people that don't know who Nuke is. DeAndre Hopkins is 30. And Keenan Allen. I think people just forget that Diggs is 30. Or he'll be 30 when the season starts. And then you got your defensive line. Yeah, it's good. It's 7th. It's good. But you're still looking at Daquan Jones, who the Panthers didn't want to re-sign. 30. He's going to be 31. Von Miller, 34. Leonard Floyd, 31. Matt Milano, 29. It's giving me kind of Atlanta Falcons vibes almost. Like really, I'm like honestly serious about that because you got just a bunch of older guys that they got Grady Jarrett, great, he's 30. Calais Campbell, great, he's 37, I believe. I have to look back to my Falcons notes. You've listened to the Falcons pod. And they got a good secondary. So does the Falcons. I don't know, man. I don't see it. I think so. All that being said, I'm coming through the assumption that you think, or whoever's listening thinks, that the Bills are going to make the playoffs and make a run at the Super Bowl. PFF has their calculations as 9.7 wins, and I'm slightly under that. I have 8 wins. I don't think 9 wins. I have two teams with 10 wins. No, I have one team with 10 wins in the playoff, and that's the 7th seed. 9 wins doesn't make it the playoffs for me. And that's from a tiebreaker. That's a tiebreaker between the Ravens and the Dolphins for me. So you got to get to at least 10 wins. And I don't see it, man. I don't see how you get to 10. You got a tough schedule. So yeah, but the roster, yes, you have a lot of Pro Bowlers. You have a lot of guys kind of going out of their prime. I don't. It would be magical if Von Miller came back from an ACL tear at 34 years old and was any sort of semblance of himself. That would be amazing. 34 years old coming back from an ACL tear. Man, that would be tough. Floyd was good. I know I wanted Floyd to be on the Panthers. I thought he would be a great fit. We didn't want to give him that money. And it looks, by the amount of money that they gave him, I think they gave him $9 million, that they are all in this year. And they should have been all, I guess they were all in last year. They gave Von Miller a 4-year deal. But they know, man, this roster is getting old. It's getting expensive. You're going to have 31-year-old Stephon Diggs next year. You're putting a lot of faith in guys like James Cook, Gabe Davis, a rookie in Kincaid. Like, I don't know. I don't even, like, how do we view James Cook? Is he a bottom 10 running back? Do we think that he has above average potential with all these great running backs in the league? I don't think so. And then sure, you have Stephon Diggs, who's a top 10 elite guy, aging. Where's Gabe Davis? Maybe top 50? Where are you drafting him in fantasy? I know fantasy isn't reality, but I don't even know if you're drafting him top 50. Because I think that's the easiest kind of display how we view people. You've seen Gabe Davis make some great plays, but they're really few and far between. So you're putting your offense behind the 22nd ranked offensive line, a 30-year-old wide receiver, maybe top 50 wide receiver, a dude that the New Orleans Saints told to go kick rocks because he wasn't good enough to make their roster in Hardy, and a second-year running back that is probably below average, and a rookie tight end. Yikes. I think a lot of their talent is in their quarterback and on their defense. And I think that I don't want to, we might be going full rebuild after this year with the Bills. We might start selling off of the Bills during the season, especially if McDermott gets fired. Let me see. So I would have him going 1-3 in the first 4. And then I got him going 4-4 in the first 8 before you hit your gauntlet. Oh, man! But I've seen Josh Allen do some amazing things. So who knows? Yeah, that's basically it. And I always feel that, because I've talked to friends about this already. So when I tell them, hey, I have them going 8-9, it's like, what? So I feel like I have to come in here and be defensive about it, because I feel like everybody thinks that. But I'm not too far off from what PFF thinks. They said 9-7 or 9.7 wins. I think they're at 8. I think any of these could switch, right? I have them losing at Washington. They could totally beat Washington. Man, but watch that. Oh, that's a monster D-line. Oh. And their secondary is good. They're good. And they got killed with injuries last year, and that's game 3. I don't know if I think they'd be killed with injuries. I don't think they'd be killed by injuries by game 3. And you're going to Washington. Yep. Yeah, that's all I got. Thanks for listening. I hope that you don't think that I hate the Bills. I don't hate the Bills. I just came ready because I think that almost everybody listening thinks I'm silly for thinking the Bills go 8-9. I have them 8th in my power rankings. I think they're the 8th best team in the league. I just think that the schedule is just not good for them. They have a gauntlet, and their division is insanely difficult. So, got me 8-9. I still think they're a good team, and I think they missed their opportunity last year. I think last year was their window, and that window is closing pretty quickly. So, all right, y'all. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, download, follow. Okay, bye.